Hey everybody, what's going on? We are back with another tier list video. Now, it's no surprise, most of my videos that are popular are my tier list videos, but I haven't done a tier list video in like over a year, I think. Don't quote me on that. But I have played the game a lot more now. I'm well past 2,000 hours, getting close to 2,500 hours. Yeah, slurring over my words. Whatever. We are here to do another tier list video, though. And this is just going to be every single role in the game. We're going to be not really dissecting it, but we will put everything in order of how it's supposed to be. Obviously, you have the basic tiers. But you have to take this with a grain of salt. This is me with pretty much playing mostly Coven Chaos. A lot of Coven Lenny, a lot of Lovers. Mostly that. So just take that with a grain of salt, that those are the game modes that I play the most. I do play ranked practice here and there. I have been getting back into ranked, but not a whole lot. So I'm just going to go down the line. We're going to start with Ambusher, and we will end it off with Witch. So Ambusher, it's pretty much just... How do I want to put it correctly? It's a decent role, okay? It's decent. Don't get me wrong. It is decent, and it knows what it's doing. It's good if you can get the correct thing for it, but you need to have one person visiting. You can only have one person visiting that target, or you're literally screwed. It's not a terrible role, but it's not the idealist, I would say it. So I'm probably going to put it in B at the moment. I'll see how I feel about other roles, and we'll maybe replace it. Ambush is a hard one for me because I do like it. It's very situational is what the word I should be using for it. Amnesiac, it's a fun role. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun role. It's also, how do I suck at putting these things in the correct words. It's decent, but you have to have a decent graveyard for it. I do enjoy this role, though, and I am going to put this mostly on enjoyment. Some of it might be practicality, some of it might be enjoyment. It's my opinion, so how much I like it. I think I'm going to put it in A, but it's probably going to end up being a lower A. I do like Amnesiac. It's a fun role. It's fun. Come on. Who doesn't love stealing someone else's role from the graveyard? Only problem is that could either end up screwing you at the end or whatnot. And here's a hint. Do not claim Amnesiac as Amni. Claim Psychic, Survivor, claim Tech Doctor, claim anything else, really. And then try to work your claim. Unless you think you're planning on going down. If you think you're planning on going evil, then obviously that's what you should be doing. Arsonist. I think Arsonist, in my opinion, is the best neutral killing role in the game for how silent you can be and get away with it. And I'm just gonna put it straight up. It's an S tier role. It's really overall a great role. It is. If you're playing Covenant Lenny, if you go for like a 2-3 hour session, there's a high chance that you see an Arsonist win in that time, because Arsonist is it's a powerful role. You can stay hidden for so long a lot of the time, and you can just win the game silently. I've seen so many people who are they don't say anything at all, they don't have to claim, and they win as Arsonist. It's really easy. And it's really fun because they buffed it so people visiting them also get doused. It's just perfect. It's the perfect overall decent, great role. Blackmailer. It's fun to read whispers, right? But it's weird because Blackmailer's use is to read whispers. It's not to actually blackmail people, which, again, that's not all the time, but the pro strategy for most of the game, for most people, is to not blackmail. So it kind of gets a bit strange when that happens. It's just like, it makes you question things. Question, why do I have this ability when I'm just using my passive ability as anything? I still think it's a good role. I still think it's better than Ambusher. I would definitely put it at B, though. And that's all I have to say about that. Bodyguard, it's okay. I have things against Bodyguard. I'm not a huge Bodyguard fan, but I'll rank this one based off its practicality, not my personal taste on this one. Bodyguard, it's a good roll. If you get a TP chain, perfect. Like S tier if you get that TP chain. But you protect someone and you kill yourself. You literally 1-for-1. It's worse than Ambusher. It's the worst roll on this list. It's still in B tier, though. It's still TP. It's still protection for a Mare. That is what its saving grace is that it can protect Mare. But if it didn't have that, C, easily. But it's just, it's mid. It's very mid roll. That's all I can say about it. There's nothing else to say. Consig is a good roll, though. It's... The way people play it isn't ideal. A lot of people will just claim TI and just... Which, I mean, granted, you're a TI, you're a mafia investigative, right? I'm pretty sure that's what Consig is declared as is itself, but it's weird because I'm trying to put it with the playstyle at the moment. The way its playstyle is a bit strange because you have people claiming TI. If there's say you're in a ranked game, which I understand that I said I mostly play Covenant Lenny, which spies aren't always there, but if there's a spy, you could be getting into a bit of a problem. It's just like... You claim to be a TI, and then you end up getting screwed off. Screwed off? Okay, then that's a new word. I just said end up getting screwed out because the spy is just able to see you visit it, and they're like, oh, well, this is just a consig, and you get hung. So when I'm playing consig a lot of the time, I do end up claiming TP or TS, and then just using that information that I find to help out the Mafia. And I'm going to put it in a high. It's a decent roll. It's great. It's a great roll when you use correctly. I'm going to put it in A tier for sure, above Amnesiac. And now we're at Consort, which there's no questions asked. It's an S tier roll. I think I've put this in S tier almost every single video that I've put it in when I am ranking rolls. It's such a powerful Mafia role. It's so powerful. Just being able to, like, role block town members and being able to get sly kills and stuff. When you worked with your consort, and the consort's not just random role blocking, and not claiming escort, because you just should not be claiming escort as consort. It ends up screwing you in the end. But just being able to role block those important townies, or even those evils that you need, role blocked in a Covenant Lenny situation, it's so helpful to have it as your teammate, as your team for that. And having a double consort is just even more powerful. Going straight into Coven Leader. Coven Leader, I have a love-hate relationship with Coven Leader. Coven Leader's it's fun to be, like, being able to control people and figuring out who people are. That's great about it. I'm not a huge fan of its Necronomicon, which is it can just kill. I feel like, yeah, you're the Coven leader, you lead the Coven. So it makes sense for you to get Necronomicon first. But I feel like Coven leader's so much more powerful when you can just not use your Necronomicon and find out rolls, much like a consig does. Obviously, the same thing goes with Hex. Hex is that, like, same middle ground where you would rather not have your Necronomicon, right? But it is a decent roll. It is a fun roll. It is a good roll. I still think it's only B tier, though. I could be undervaluing Coven Leader, but I'm gonna put it there for now. We'll see if I want to change anything up later. But still, an amazing roll. I can't be angry with Coven Leader. It's a fun one. On to Crusader, though, which Crusader likes to kill its town members more than it likes to kill evils. I think I probably have brought this up beforehand. This opinion of mine has still not changed. It's a good roll. It can carry games. It's easily confirmed. It's decent. And all those things would make you think it's an S tier. I put it in A. Definitely better than Amnesiac. Not as good as Consig. But it does have a tendency to kill town members, which does make it just fall off mark. I love Crusader, though. It's a fun role. It's easily confirmed, as I said. It's good. Disguiser. Was the Disguiser change in last time I did this? I don't remember, but I do understand Disguiser a lot more now. Disguiser is a pretty cool role nowadays. I'm happy with the way Disguiser works nowadays. I.e., you're able to, like, change... someone could correct me if I'm wrong on this, but from what my knowledge is on what Disguiser does, Disguiser is able to disguise visits from your Mafia and potentially their results. I'm pretty sure it's results, but I've been told it's not results, so that's what that is, but I'm going to put Disguiser in a B. It's definitely not the best Mafia role to have, but it's definitely underappreciated, I think. Actually, screw it. I'm going to put it in A. I think Disguiser's underappreciated. I've had games where Disguisers, where being a Disguiser, helped confirm so many of my Mafia members, quote unquote, and it went swimmingly. It was perfect. And then for that reason, I'm definitely going to put it in A and give it the love it deserves. Next is Doctor. Doctor is just your standard overall healer. You're able to heal that doctor. You're able to heal another doctor. You're able to heal that jailer. You're able to heal that important lookout, that important investigator. It's a good role. It's just good. Actually, by the way, I'm putting Disguiser in front of Amnesiac. I just kind of slotted it there. It's definitely better than that. But it's not better than Doctor. Disguiser's not better than Doctor at all. Doctor is better, but there's not much to say about Doctor. It heals. It does a good thing. It's amazing. It's amazing in chains. Is it better than Crusader? For the fact that it can't kill town members, I will put it in front. But these two town protectives are very close aligned. I like both of them just pretty much equally, but I'll give the edge to Doctor because Doctor doesn't kill a lot of town members. It doesn't risk town members' deaths, I suppose. Now we're on to Escorts. You would think the way Escort works, it would be much better. It would be about the same level of Consort. It's not the same level as Consort. Not a huge fan of Escort a whole lot. Pretty much for the fact that a lot of the time you're just random role blocking. You really can't find out your objectives at all of who you're supposed to be role blocking all the time. And for that reason, I'm going to put it in A tier behind Amnesiac. Not much to say on it. It's just that especially for me at the moment, I am struggling. I struggle to correctly role block people. A lot of the time I know that I'm just kind of random role blocking people who are quiet during the day. And until like those final 2 days where you kind of can figure out who you need to role block, then it's decent, but it's definitely lackluster. Now we're on to one of my favorite roles in the game. I'm just going to put it in S tier. I'm ahead of all of these roles so far. I love Executioner. Executioner is the most fun, and I know I'm cheating at the moment, but I'm going to put Jester right there too, since they're both quite similar roles. Actually, I would probably put Executioner ahead of Jester. I'm going to put both these neutral evils right up at the front. These two are my favorite roles in the entire game at the moment. They always have been. I love just causing chaos in Covenant Any, or even in Ranked, and just having fun, just trying to sheep the town into lynching you or to lynching your target. It's fun. And the only reason why Executioner is ahead of Jester is because, in theory, they're both you can easily win with both of these roles, but Executioner has that defense, and that defense is Chef's Kiss, helps you to survive, because a lot of the time, if you're Jester, you could just die night one. So, I'm going to put both those roles right up in S right now, just because I love those roles. They're so much fun. Now we're going to go to Forger, which I'm probably going to be judging Forger really harshly here. If you can use Forger correctly and you actually forge a lot of people, like you can forge 2 people, obviously. I shouldn't say a lot of people. When you forge people, it can be satisfying if you get the right forge off. If you nail that forge. But and definitely since its update, it's definitely made it easier to forge for sure. The only problem I have with Forger right now is that no one uses it for its correct purpose. To deduct the town into thinking someone's dead, that a dead person is this thing. Most forgers still use their ability and they still forge correctly, but they make it obvious that it's a forger game and in reality just become another janitor. Except it doesn't say cleaned, it says ambusher on it, or it says forger, or it says like plague bearer when the mafia killed it, which obviously that doesn't happen. I see a lot of plague bearers, that's the reason why I bring it up. But if used correctly, it's a good role. But taking into account that most people don't use it for that purpose, I'm going to put it as the worst role so far, behind bodyguard. And it's forger. It's unfortunate what they did to him. It was never a good role. It's definitely got buffed, but it's caused this playstyle to just not be great. And we're gonna go into an even more lackluster mafia role. I'm putting this as the first C. It's Framer. Framer isn't that great of a role. Pretty much what you're doing most of the game is you're just randomly visiting and hoping that there's a TI that visits you, and it's like, thanks. I don't know what to do with that, but cool, dude. A lot of time you can find out if it's a Framer game. Sometimes Framer does have its shines of light, but a lot of the time, especially in Covenant Lenny, a lot of the time, I'm framed is a huge result that happens, and it's unfortunate, but it happens a lot, and Framer's just lackluster at the moment, and I'm not a big fan of it. That's what I can pretty much say. I'm kind of just repeating the same points at the moment. So let's just go on to The Godfather, which is a good role. I do like myself some good old Godfather. I'm just going to straight up put it in... Where do I want to put this? Godfather has a defense. It's definitely better than Mafioso. I think I'm going to put it right here. I think this is... is it better? I think Godfather's better than Disguiser. Okay. Godfather, for me... Claiming TK as Godfather is a good idea a lot of the time. Not the best idea, of course, but it's a good idea. If you can get away with it, that's what most people do claim as Godfather is TK. Godfather, just, you can attack, you have defense, it's overall solid. That's all I can say about it. And now we'll move on to Guardian Angel, which is a fun role. I'm gonna put it in S, but it's not better than Arsonist. For me, it's a good role. Don't get me wrong. It's amazing. Love it. Obviously, I put it in an S. It's just, a lot of people have been bashing Guardian Angel recently. A lot of people just want to kill the Guardian Angel because, fuck it, they're the Guardian Angel. It's funny. And it's been rough. Guardian Angel, most of the time, the way people play it, most of the time you will win with this role. Whether as a Guardian Angel or as a survivor, once your target dies. Great role, fun to work with another. It's always fun to have one of these on your team and then just be like, oh, we have an extra teammate kind of deal. Guardian Angel is a great role, but it has been getting a bit, from the games I have been playing at least, a lot of people have been hating on it, just to kill him. A lot of people just kill him for no reason, even though they've claimed out and are confirmed. It's kind of unfortunate. Now we're on to Hexmaster, which I sympathize with. I sympathize with this role. If you're by yourself as a Hexmaster, you can't do a whole lot. If you get the Necronomicon as a Hexmaster, as I alluded to when we were talking about Coven Leader, you're not going to do much. I think it's better than Coven Leader. I do like it better than Coven Leader if you're able to get that passive. I like the passive of Hexmaster better than the passive of Coven Leader. But I do think it is better than that. But it's... Do I put it in A or do I put it in B? It's like, do I put it in A, low A, or is it in high B? I think I'm going to put it in high B. Mainly because a lot of the time you're not going to get the Hex Bomb. Getting a Hex Bomb is great news. It's amazing. It's a great feeling to be like, yeah, we got the win kind of ordeal. And just like kill like 5 townies at sometimes. And just win the game. It's a cool feeling. It's a really good feeling if you've experienced it before. It's just... It doesn't happen often anymore because a lot of people, you're just playing... Most of the time you find this role in Covenant Lenny, and a lot of the time it's just you get your Necronomicon, you can potentially get a Hex Bomb at the end of the game, but you're getting like 1 or 2 people, and it's like, nah, well, that's not really fun. And yeah, Hex just being able to kill makes it so there's no Hex, and it's a mess, for sure. Next, we'll go on to Investigator, which Investigator is an A-tier role. I'm definitely better than Escort, better than Amnesiac, and better than Disguiser. Actually, I think I put it right next to Consig. I don't... is it better than Consig? That's a rough one. That's a hard question. I don't know if it's better than Consig. They're pretty even. You know what? Screw it. It's a pity reason. I'm going to put it ahead of it. And it's for a completely pity reason. They're so similar as roles. Being able to have an investigator, it's really fun to be able to have 3 things, and you know that 3 to 5 things, depending on which mode you're playing, depending on who you're checking. And you just instantly know it's one of these 3 things, unless it's framed, of course. Or even disguised, if that's how Disguiser works correctly. But the reason why I'm putting it ahead of Consig is because of the pretty colors that you see when you use results now. That one update where I can see the pretty colors. I can see the red. I can see the green. It's such a pity reason, but it's the reason why I'm putting it ahead of Consig. It's the only reason. It's just fun. Jailer's obviously an S tier role. It's better than Consort. For me, no. It could definitely be. Could be better than it. But for me personally, no. I do get why people would probably put it ahead. Probably would put it ahead of Executioner Jester too. But I love my Executioner Jester. Jailer is it's just sheer power. It's one of the most powerful townies in the game. It's one of the most easily confirmed townies. It's just everything you want in a role. There's a reason why when you're Jailer, you are the most important townie, unless there's potentially a mayor. Which, speaking of which, okay, mayor's coming up. I thought I missed up on mayor. No, I'm going at a slow rate at rating these things. We are 20 minutes in, almost 25 actually. And I'm maybe halfway through, so if you're still here, comment potato. Yeah, you heard me. Comment potato. Or yeast. Or both. Do both. Potato yeast. Anyway, on to Janitor. Janitor is a good role. It's solid. You deduct. It's a good role because you can hide what people's roles are. But it's really the same thing as Forger, but it's the same thing that what Forgers do, as I said, but this is better than Forger because it's its actual role. I wouldn't say it's better than Godfather, but it's definitely better than Disguiser. It's an A role. It's definitely an A tier role for sure. I don't have much to say on it. It's the only reason why I'd say it's better than Forger is because people play Forger like a janitor. When Forger's not meant to be played like that. That's my best reason to say why they're different. On to Juggernaut, though, which, for me, personally, Out of all the neutral killings, I'm not the hugest fan of Juggernaut. Do I think it's better than one of the neutral killings? Yes, but it is the third worst neutral killing. Unfortunately, I'm gonna put it in B tier. I'm gonna put it better than Coven Leader, not better than Hexmaster. It's a really good feeling when you get that maximum power. Actually, fuck it. It's going in low A. It's going in low A. Low A. It's a good feeling when you get your maximum power, but a lot of the time when it's a Juggernaut game, a lot of people are going to find that Juggernaut. They want to find the Juggernaut because they want to get rid of it. It's annoying. Which could indicate that it's really good, but a lot of people search for it, and a lot of the time you do get found. And that's my main reason why I don't it's not particularly my favorite. Obviously, there's a lot of roles that are like that, but Juggernaut and Plaguebearer especially, those are the two that get targeted the most just because of that. Sometimes you live if there's both of them alive because they want that achievement, which I'm not a huge fan of that either. I'd rather have the achievement happen naturally in a game because it does happen a lot, but there's not much to say else about that. That's just kind of how I feel about it. Lookout is the next role we have on the list. It's a decent role. I'm putting it in A. A lot of things are going in A right now. A lot of things there's a lot of decent roles. There's a lot of not perfect roles, not the best in the world, not my favorite, but they're all decent roles. I think it's better than I'm gonna put it ahead of Doctor. Reason being is just in a ranked. My reasoning is ranked at the moment. If you have a jailer that claims TPLO, you're able to confirm so many townies as a lookout. You're able to do so much as a lookout. Much like the video I posted yesterday, which technically is out today for me, but regardless. The video I posted yesterday, it does... I'll put the link down below in the description for that, by the way. It's, it just helps confirm a lot of things. That's really what it does. If you're playing ranked, it confirms a lot. Covenant Lenny, it's not the best. If we're talking ranked, Lookout goes in S. If we're talking only specifically ranked, I would put it in S. Because Covenant Lenny, it could be not the greatest. I definitely put it in A underneath Investigator and Consig. Mafioso is just a worst version of Godfather. I would put it below Ambusher, probably. And that's all I have to say about it. It's just the worst Godfather. Mayor, very powerful role, very fun role. I'm gonna put it in A though. It's not gonna be. It's right there on the S to A tier. I do like playing as Mayor. Mayor's fun. I love revealing day one and seeing how long I can live. That's always fun for me personally. Always be like, yeah, I have the button addiction. Shows out the button. It's cool. I like doing that. 3 votes is very powerful if you can use them correctly. And you can one button and hi, I'm confirmed town. Hello. Love that, but Mayor, you have to use a lot of deduction skills on it. You have to be able to scum read, you have to be able to read votes. There's a lot of skill involved of playing a good Mayor. Just to play a good Mayor, not even to play a perfect Mayor. There's a lot that you have to take with to make a Mayor work really well. Medium, people are going to hate me for this. I can already tell you right now. People are going to hate me for this, especially because I just put Mayor in A tier. Medium's in S tier. Low S tier. I'll be honest with you. Low S tier. But I love Medium way too much. It's my favorite town role. I'm putting Jailer ahead of Medium because Jailer is a better role than Medium. It's so much better. But this is my... Okay, back to Medium. Sorry, my roommate came in and I had to do a little break. So I gotta get my thoughts refocused. Medium, I love being Medium. I don't know if it's because I like going against the grain and saying that I love how Medium works. I love how Medium works. I love being able to talk to the dead when the dead are around. Obviously, it's very situational. But when I play medium, I get this joy inside, and I just love being medium. It's my favorite town role to play. There's something about medium. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm putting it in S tier. It's my one role that I'm gonna be totally biased about. I'm gonna be totally like, this is my favorite role. I'm putting it up here. Screw whoever says it's not that good. I love medium so much, so much. Now we're gonna go to my other bias, which is Medusa. I hate Medusa. I'm gonna try to give it a fair rating, but I'm completely biased. If I was gonna be my full biasness, it would be in D. It would be in D. I do not like Medusa. Could be because it's one of the only Coven roles that I can get on a consistent basis. If I am Coven, I can bet you 75% of that time I am Medusa. I have way too much Medusa games. I play it way too much, and it's tainted its image. But it's a decent role. Obviously, it's the reverse of it's the evil veteran, except when you get Necronomicon, you can kill. It can still make it so you can't see rolls. It's a good role. It's good. It's better than Juggernaut. It's better than Escort. It's better than Amnesiac. I'm gonna put it fairly, but if I was biased, if I was gonna use my full biasness, I'd put it in D. Necromancer, for lack of a better word, is not great. If I could say something notoriously terrible about it, I would. I'm not a huge fan of this role, but it does have its uses with a good dead graveyard. I don't think it's better than Coven Leader. I'm gonna put it right. It's not better than Blackmailer either. It is better than Ambusher though, and it's just you have to have a good dead graveyard. That's all I can say. Wow, I've been rated Coven really badly, haven't I? Apparently, I don't like Coven. That's how it works, I suppose. Pirate. I don't have a bias towards Pirate. Pirate's not that great of a role. It's just rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to rate this how it should be rated, and I'm going to put it in B tier. I'd rather play Bodyguard, but I'd rather play Mafioso than Pirate. And that's me thinking, that's me not being biased. If I was being biased, I would put it a lot higher. But just as a role itself, it's in B tier. My favorite thing to do as Pirate is to just pull out a wheel, like look up like a wheel and like get like numbers on it and stuff. I literally have an app on my phone where I can like put in like numbers and shit, and I just randomly get a number. I randomly pirate that number. I have a wheel that tells me if I'm picking pistol, scimitar, or rapier, and that's what I do. I completely come out and I say, I'm randoming everything. I'm sorry if I pirate you. It's completely random. And that's my favorite thing to do. As Pirate at the moment in time. Like, that's just what it is. And, yeah. But overall, not a great role. It's not the best. Could be better. It's middle of the field, I suppose. Even though, it's not even middle of the field. I can't say it's middle of the field. It's definitely, at the moment, it's the lower of the field. But it's a mid-roll. It's okay. Plague Bearer, which is going to include Pestilence in both of these. Plague Bearer / Pestilence. There is no Pestilence icon here, so I'm going to put both of them in one. And I'm going to put it in a high A. It's definitely high A. I think it's better than Investigator. I do like this Neutral Chaos. It's one of my favorite Neutral Chaoses, which is saying something, because I don't like Neutral Chaos a whole lot. I put Pirate quite low. You'll see where I put Vampire pretty soon. It's my favorite Neutral Chaos, and you can stay silent. You can stay silent for quite a while, and much like the Arsonist effect, you can get your Pestilence. You can potentially win the game like that. Once Pestilence is known, people start hunting for it, but it's a fun role to play for sure. If you get it multiple times in a row, it can get a bit annoying. Getting it a couple times a day can get kind of annoying too for me personally, but it's a good role and it is fun to play. That's the reason why it's up there. Now we're on to Poisoner. I really hate Coven. I know exactly where I'm putting this. I'm putting it right in between. I like it better than Coven Leader, but if there's a Doctor in your game and you don't have Necronomicon, you're fucked. You're simply fucked. And that's the main reason why I'm putting it down here. Necronomicon's pretty cool with it, but I feel like to give Poisoner a buff, you should be able to poison everyone. Just keep it the same how it is. Just being able to go through defense. That would be cool. I think that would be cool. But that's all I have to say on it. Potion Master, finally Coven gets something fun. I am going to put that higher than Medusa, higher than even... I wouldn't put it higher than Crusader, but I would definitely put it higher than Godfather. I like playing Potion Master. Being able to... You could choose to play silent the entire game, and you could just use your reveals and your heals, and you could play it that way. There's just multiple play styles you can have with Potion Master that it becomes fun. You can change it up, and you can do something different. As a Godfather, you just have to kill, and kill. Mafioso, same ordeal. Some of these roles you have to play roughly the same way. Potion Master breaks that mold, and it's just fun. It's a lot of fun to be able to just try different things with your ability, not doing different things in game, like different role claims, different stuff, different things to do with the ability. It's cool. Different play styles with abilities. Psychic is, I'm not gonna have to say much about it. I don't know exactly where I would put it. It's somewhere in this A tier. That's for sure. It's a decent... I think I'm going to put it with all these other TIs. I think I like it better than Lookout. And I think that's where it goes. I think. A lot of these are subject to be, like, change on my day. These in my current state, in this current day, this is how I'm feeling about them. Could change tomorrow, you know? But... Psychic... For me, is you get 3 people, you know one of them's evil, solid TI. That's all I can say about it. Retributionist, I'm going to put this pretty low because we all know Retributionist is a worse Necromancer. I'm going to put it in C. Low B? Better than Forger? Better than Forger. Better than Bodyguard. Better than Bodyguard. Right there. I think that's better. I like that. Retributionist with a good Dead Graveyard. You have to remember that I'm coming from a Covenant Lenny standpoint for most of my stuff. Again, if you watch that Lookout game that I'm going to put down in the description, spoilers, I'll give you a couple seconds to go there if you want to. If you don't, I'm going to spoil it. Retributionist carried that game. Was able to get 2 people killed. So that was cool. We can carry in a certain situation. But where I mostly play, which is Covenant Lenny, Retributionist is lackluster. Not a lot of dead townies you can use. There's a lot of times where you become Retributionist and you can't use a single townie the whole game because a mayor dies. Oh, I can't use the mayor. Oh, and then a transporter dies. Well, I can't do that either. I can't use that either. And then a jailer dies and you can't use that. And you just end up not being able to use a lot of your roles that die, and it's just like, well, I'm just sitting here looking suspicious and looking like a Necromancer. Because every time someone claims Retributionist, they say Necromancer. Every time. And it's annoying. Now we're on to Serial Killer, which is the one neutral killing I think is worse than Juggernaut. I'm going to put it in high B. Reason being, it's literally Godfather without teammates. Tell me I'm wrong. Yes, you can kill role blockers, but that's such a minuscule thing that it doesn't matter. I don't care. Technically, is it better than Godfather? Yes. But Godfather has teammates. That's the reason why Godfather's better. Literally, I understand that's a weird reason, or maybe it's not, but you have teammates as a Godfather. And yeah, you can have teammates as a serial killer with other serial killers, but you don't instantly know who they are, so you have to kind of go ahead and find them, which is different. And that doesn't happen every game. So, now we're on the Sheriff. Again, I'm going to rate this pretty lowly, knowing that I'm a Covenant Lenny player. It's a decent role. Definitely a decent role. But I don't rate it that high. It's definitely going in B tier. I would say it's better than a Necromancer, but it's not much better. Which is really strange, knowing that I've put pretty much all the TIs in a row here. Of course, Consig being in the between them. But pretty much the rest of the TIs are way up here, so... Unfortunate for a Sheriff, you find seems innocent way too many times. You can make it work. You can definitely make it work. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, you know? Now we are on to Spy. Spy is, again, another decent TI. Only problem I have with it as a Covenant Lenny player, it dies way too early. So it's gonna break the mold as well. I'm gonna put the TPs. I'm gonna put the Potion Master. I think it's better than Godfather, but it's decent. You can catch Mafia quite easily. You can catch Coven quite quickly with it. It's really cool role. I love this role. It's literally that it dies way too early. Like, if you live a long time as a spy, consider yourself lucky in Coven Millennia, especially. Now we're on to Survivor. I'm going to put Survivor in D tier. It's not that great overall. And then every single time you claim Survivor, someone thinks you're evil. It's the first D tier. It's not a great role. Not a huge fan of it. Not a huge fan of Survivor claims, unfortunately. Because that's just what we've been built up to hate, you know? And that's all I have to say on it. That's really all I have to say. Tracker is another good role. I'm going to put it with the rest of these TIs. I think it's not better than Lookout. But it's a good role. It's a really good role. Being able to track and try to find an evil. You can find people visiting, so you can check those Survivor claims especially and see if they're visiting or not or whatnot. And it's an easy way to get yourself confirmed potentially is by using a tracker to help you out with that. Transporter's a good role. Don't get me wrong about this, but I find it way too annoying. I'm going to put it in high B. I find transporters way too annoying for me. Most of the time when I am a town member, I'm a TI, and there's a transporter in the game, the transporter messes up way too much things. People get way too confused. And that because they don't understand how it works, potentially, or they're just straight confused. I don't know what to say. It's just... it causes too much chaos for my liking. And it makes it too confusing and rough and annoying and frustrating, and that's what I have to say about it. Now we're on to Trapper. Trapper is the worst TP, in my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of it. You can get some good plays with it. It's definitely an A tier, but I think Escort's definitely better than it. I think actually, would I rather play Jug over Trapper? Nah, I'd put it right there. It's pretty much because a lot of the time in Covenant Lenny, you're left in the dark. You don't know who to trap night to. A lot of the time, you're randomly trapping. I'm normally in the person who plays and traps night 3 because there you have way more information than night 2. But it's a good role, but it's not perfect. It's not great. And we're on to Vampire. Hate Vampire. Hate it. I despise this role. If I was able to be biased on the media, I'm going to be biased on the Vampires. I like Survivor better than Vampire. I know a lot of people love Vampires, and before you come at me, a lot of the time you die night 1 without being able to do anything. And remember, we're speaking Covenant Lenny. Dracula's Palace is kind of penis. It's kind of poo-poo. Not a good role. Not a good role list. So it doesn't help Vampires at all. It doesn't help me. It doesn't help with Vampires at all. That the one game mode that they're technically in, besides Covenant Lenny or Custom, it's bad. And the other thing is that Vampires, they die night 1 a lot to Mafia. The problem with Vampire as well is you hit a lot of evils a lot of the time. You just hit evils. You can't convert a lot of the time because there's only like 2 or 3 townies you can actually convert. And whilst someone could correct me if I'm wrong, I know someone could have, I think the role that might have the most wins could be Vampire. It could be. From the statistics they give you on their on what BMG gives you on their on the Town of Salem game itself, it seems like the Vampires have the most, but it's not a great role. I'm not a huge fan of that role, and this is why I'm putting it down here. That's my bias towards it. It's just, and it's annoying when you get bit by a vampire. I don't care if it ends up in a win. I wanted to be a different role. I didn't want to be Vampire. I wanted to be my Lookout, damn it. I wanted to be my whatever, you know? Anyway, on to Veteran. Veteran, great role. Love it. I'd put it not ahead of the TIs. I'll put it right there. because it's fun to get evils. It's fun to bait evils into you. But I also have to put the ringing in my ear of how annoying baits can be. People baiting is just can be annoying, especially when they're doing the TPLO stuff and they're like doing that stuff, and it's not ideal. I'm just not gonna say anything really much about it. It kind of just sits there. It's a good roll. Vampire Hunter, it's better than Vampire, but not by much. I put it better. You know what's bad when I'm putting Framer ahead of it. You know. I mean, and Vampire Hunter's only lackluster because Vampire's lackluster for me. Really, the only reason. It's cool that you become Vigilante. But you have one bullet, so it's kind of like, oh, cool, I'm kind of useless. I mean, it's definitely balanced, but it's just, I don't like vampires, so why would I like Vampire Hunter, you know? Vigilante is a good role. I'm going to put it in S tier. Better than medium? It's better than medium. I put it right underneath each other. Having the power to shoot evils and figuring out evils is very good. And there's not much else to say. It's overall just super fun to get shots gone, be able to do well. Especially if you're able to scum read and stuff, and you're able to read votes. It can be pretty fun when you just get multiple of one faction, just like bang, bang, bang. I knew all of you. Get out of here. Really fun, actually. Now we're on to Werewolf. I think Werewolf is the best neutral killing. No, not the best neutral killing. Sorry. The second best neutral killing. Behind Arsonist. Right here. I think it's an 8-tier roll. I think it's better than Juggernaut by a country mile. And I think it's better than Psychic. Better than Psychic. Better than Psychic. I was contemplating whether it was better than Investigator. But I think it's better than Psychic. Now let's just say the buff of being able to use after night 4, just being able to continuously rampage, made it a great rogue. Made it amazing. And that's the only reason I have to say about it. You have to have a powerful attack as well. That's the other thing. Now we're on to Witch. Witch is the least played role I have. I do not play Witch a whole lot. Mainly because I'm playing Covenant Lenny and not all Lenny. I should probably refrain from putting Witch anywhere, because I'm not the best person to talk about Witch. It's a worse Coven Leader, pretty much. It's a worse Coven Leader. I'm just going to put it behind Coven Leader. That's all I'm going to do. And that is the list. I don't have a whole lot to say on Witch. So I'm just going to put it behind Coven Leader because it's technically a worse Coven Leader because Coven Leader gets the Necronomicon and can kill. The only reason. Plus, you have a faction. You actually have your known faction members as a Coven Leader, which you have to go and find them. But Witch is fun. Every single time I play Witch, it's fun. It's just I don't play it a whole lot, so I'm not gonna have the best take on it. But this is my tier list as of recording this on November 4th, 2022. I'll probably come back next year and do another one of these, see if my positions have changed. I don't even know what my positions are on these. Quickly, let me check to see if I want to switch anything, or if I feel good about these. I'm already seeing one. Escort. I'd rather play Jug than Escort. Come on. And I think I'll put Amni way too low. I'd rather play it. I think it's like right there. A little bit too low. One too low. Now that I'm rethinking it. But besides that, I think everything else is good. I like how everything else fits. Yep, I like it. Okay, so this is my tier list. I hope you guys enjoy my opinions on it. Tell me how you feel about them down below. Just tell me how you feel, about certain roles, especially when it comes to, I think the one what's the one that we should talk about the best? What's one of the most controversial one here? Obviously medium, but that's biased. Same with Vampire, that's biased. I think the way I rated SK is weird. Talk about how you guys feel about my SK pick. We'll make it so you talk about one. Then I'll know you've watched the whole 40, 50-minute thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you all in the next one. Have a good rest of your day, and peace.